up in the non-paid organic section on the search engines. And in this case, there are three critical components to getting ranked in the organic section. First, you need to have more placeholders. I'll talk about that in more depth in a minute. You need to be optimized, so each of the pages on your website or each of those placeholders needs to be optimized for the specific keywords that you want to rank for. And then you need more inbound links. So you need to create authority for your domain, and you need links from true websites, relevant websites to your website. And I'm going to break that down in more depth, but those are the critical components for getting ranked more often in the search engines. So as you think about needing more placeholders, you might say, well, what do I need placeholders for? And it all comes down to keyword research and understanding what your customers typing into the search engines when they are looking for your services. So I promised I would share with you the most commonly searched keywords within the HVAC industry. So we've got air conditioner, air conditioning, furnace, air conditioners, HVAC, air conditioning repair, duct cleaning, and the list goes on and on. So you want to have that list of keywords so that you can figure out what your placeholders or pages should be. And if you want to download this list of keywords, it's based on historical research, looking at what the most commonly searched keywords are. You can go to hvacSEO.net/free, and then we've got a list of all of those most commonly searched HVAC-specific keywords. So let's talk about what I mean when I say you need more pages. So the typical HVAC website has between 5 and 6 pages. Home, about us, our services, coupons, contact us. And we know that in order to rank for all of the different keywords that we want to rank for, we just went through our list, we know we need to have a page on the website that's optimized for each one of those, because each page on your website can only really typically be ranked for between 1 and 2 main keywords. So we think you need to expand that out so that you have pages for each one of the services that you provide, and then sub-pages for each one of the little cities in and around your core market that you operate in. So obviously you still want your home, about us, coupons, and contact us page. Those are core informational pages that you need on your website. But when it comes to your services page, rather than just listing all the things you do, you want to make a specific page for those services that talk about that specific topic. So AC repair, heater repair, duct cleaning, AC installation, geothermal, filtration systems, humidifiers, and the list goes on and on. But you want to make sure that you've got a page that comes out beneath your services page for each one of those services. And then you want to make sure that you've got sub-city pages. So if you operate in, and I'll just use Miami as an example, if you operate in Miami, Miami is your main city. So you want to rank for Miami AC repair and Miami AC technician and Miami AC contractor and all of those different words. But the typical HVAC contractor services between a 25 and 50 mile radius. So outside of Miami, there's a lot of little sub-cities and sub-markets that you probably want and need to rank for as well. So in order to do that, you need to have pages for those sub-cities. So in this, in the case of Miami, you might want a page for Kendall, Doral, Homestead, Hialeah, Miami Beach. And so by doing that and creating those sub-pages, you can really improve the probability of showing up for the people that might type in Kendall AC repair, Kendall AC technician, or Kendall air conditioning services. So you get the idea. You need to have pages for each one of the services that you provide and each one of the little sub-cities and markets that you operate in. From there, once you've got your pages, right, and you know which things you want to rank for, you need to make sure that each one of those pages is properly optimized. So Google knows what those specific pages are supposed to be ranked for, or they should rank for. And there's a lot of different things you can do to optimize your website. I'm going to talk about, if we look at the 80-20 rule, the 20% of the things that will drive 80% of the results. And right now I'm going to talk about specifically on your site. We know we want to have pages for each one of our services in each one of our cities. Each one of those pages now needs to be optimized the correct way. And the first thing you want to look at on a page for optimization is your title tag. And so if we just think about your home page, the typical HVAC homepage is something like the company name. So if it's Joe's Heating and Air Service, the title tag, which you'll see the arrow they're pointing to, says Joe's Heating and Air Service. In order to get that page to rank for the right keyword, which would probably be, their city AC repair, their city air conditioning repair, you want to put that keyword at the very top far left, as far to the left as possible. So maybe it's Miami AC Repair Service, followed by the company name, plus the city and state, and then maybe some other secondary keyword. That's the better way. And you don't want to just do that on your homepage. You want to do it on the homepage. If you've got the, water filtration systems or the air filtration systems page, then you want the title tag on that page to be, Miami Air Filtration Systems. You want to put the geo modifier in that title tag as well. And so if you did nothing else but go back to your website after this presentation and say, okay, I'm going to change my title tag so it's got my keywords more prominently in the title at the far left, you'll notice a huge impact. I mean, if you did nothing else and just did that and claimed your Google Places listing from this presentation, you'll notice a pretty significant improvement in your positioning on the search engines for the things you should be ranking for. The other real important considerations from an on-page SEO perspective is you need a unique title tag for each one of your pages. You want to leverage your keyword in your H1 tag, which is the big bold block of text that typically shows up after your title tag, which is in the blue bar at the very top. Your images that you have on your website, the pictures of your van, the pictures of your team, the picture of that AC unit, you want to name it. You want to name it something specific, like your city plus AC repair or your city plus air conditioning contractor. And then you want to have alt tags associated with those images. You want to leverage anchor text throughout the website so that the links carry you from one page to the next. And then what you want to do is you want to create a sitemap, an XML sitemap, which helps Google understand. So now you took your website from 5 pages to like 35 pages. You've got pages for each one of your cities and each one of the services that you operate in. In order for Google to get all those pages in the index, or to make it easy for them to get all those pages in the index, you want to submit a sitemap. And so a sitemap can be submitted to Google Webmaster Tools and to Bing Webmaster Tools, and it really just makes it easier for Google to now know all of those pages that are on your website. Once that's done, once you've got your pages built and they're properly optimized, you've probably completed maybe 10 or 20% of the battle. Unfortunately, just having a properly optimized page, all that really does is put you in the index or put you on the list somewhere for that specific word. So let's just use as the example air conditioning repair. So you've got a page that's really well optimized for air conditioning repair. Google knows it, and it might put you down on, page 8, which unfortunately, as we all know, no one's going to get to you on page 8. So what's the gap? What would you have to do to go from page 8 to page 1 in the top 5 listings? Well, ultimately, it all comes down to the authority of your domain or the authority of that specific page on the search engines. And so it really comes down to getting more quality links from other websites online back to your website. And if you've got more quality inbound links than your competition, you can outrank your competition. And so he who has the most quality inbound links wins. So where do you get those links? How can you get those links pointed back to your website? Well, again, it's not really just about having other websites pointing to you and getting a bunch of garbage. It's really more about getting quality, authoritative links back to your website. So the best place to start is by looking at associations and organizations that you're involved in. So if you're a member of the local Chamber of Commerce, if you're involved in the local plumbing association or local AC association, ACCA, at your local chapter, make sure that you're on that website with a link back to your website. Make sure you get a link from the Chamber of Commerce. These are great links that are very authoritative that will add a lot of credibility to your website. And they should also give you a relatively quality citation for your directory listings, for getting listed on the Google map. From there, you want to make sure you're listed in those directories for citation development, also for creating the authority for your domain. So going into like Bing Local and City Search and Angie's List and Judy's Book and making sure you're listed in there with a link back to your website, that creates more authority, which will help you rank better. But really, there are two critical link building strategies that will help you significantly. The first is content creation. You need to be creating fresh, relevant, interesting information and uploading it to your website, preferably on a blog. If you've got your website in a blog format like WordPress, you can create new articles on an ongoing basis, which creates fresh content, but also helps to get more information and more links back to your website. The other thing you can do to get inbound links is competitive link acquisition. And so competitive link acquisition is running a search for your city air conditioning repair and seeing who's got the top position. Obviously you probably know who the big players are in your market, but once you've got that and okay, here are the 5 guys that happen to rank in page 1 for my most important keywords, you can reverse engineer their links and start to see, okay, where www.competitornumber1.com, has 75 inbound links to his website. And you can see those links, and then you can put together a plan for getting those same or similar links back to your website. That's called competitive link acquisition. One way to do that is to go to yahoo.com, type in link:/yourcompetition.com, and that's how you can start to get a feel for some of the links pointing back to your competitor's site. There's also a tool called MajesticSEO.com, which will help you figure out who's linking to your competition and get those same or similar links back to your site. And so from an SEO organic perspective, having the right website pages with the right on-page optimization combined with fresh content and inbound links, that's what it takes to get your company or your website to outrank the competition. Well, I hope you found this information beneficial. I hope you're able to take these ideas and techniques and start to implement them in your business in a way that's going to help you connect with more customers and grow your business. If you'd like to get more ideas, techniques, strategies, tips on how you can more effectively market your AC repair, HVAC business online, I'd encourage you to go to HVACSEO.net/free. There you'll be able to download our guide. It takes you step by step through really some of the best ideas, techniques, and strategies that we've developed specifically for the HVAC business, ranging from everything from SEO to Google Places optimization to email marketing and social media. So I encourage you to go ahead and download that guide. It's completely free of charge. Now, if you're the type of business owner that says, this is great information, I'd be interested in potentially having you guys do this for us. We'd love the opportunity to talk with you. You can give us a call directly at 866-610-4647.